Did you know that the real leverage in feedback is not so much in giving it as much as it is in learning to receive it well? I want you to think about that as we begin this new mini series on receiving feedback. And I want to share with you why we're going to do that. Why would we not move towards how to give feedback well? We can hit that. We will hit that. But this podcast and this video series, everything that I do is all about solutions, right? That's why I called my company Leadership Solutions. So when we think about feedback, what we're trying to do is we're trying to meet needs, or we're recognizing things that are well done. And with you in your business, your company, whatever it is that you do, feedback's going to be a part of that. You're going to be giving it, you're going to be receiving it. But the better that we can receive feedback, the better we can grow, the better we improve, the better we can serve other people. And so what I want to do is I want to use our time to start off with how to receive feedback well, because we'll experience so many more benefits as we leverage that opportunity before we get into and dive into the skill set of being able to give feedback. So stick with me. This will be our probably longest video as I set things up. And then what we'll do is we'll move into the different mindset parts and skill set parts. We want to give you both to be able to receive feedback well. The information that I'm going to be sharing with you comes mainly from this book right here. Thanks for the feedback from the Harvard negotiation team, Doug Stone and Sheila Heen. They are amazing. So a lot of it is coming from this. Also draw from Therese Houston's book, Let's Talk, and Crucial Conversations. So that's maybe the one that most people are familiar with to be able to refer back to. But that's our little library here that's going to help us. And then I want to share with you something that I use to work with teams to help them with better communication and connection so they can collaborate and create better together. I don't really like the design on this book. You can see it better there. Everyone communicates, few connect. It's just hard to see those colors together, especially on screen. But this is an amazing book with 5 principles and 5 practices that I help train teams on so that they can not only receive feedback well and give feedback well, but just communicate, connect, collaborate, and create. So I want to help you. I want to help your team. I provide executive coaching so I can work with you one-on-one. I provide team training so I can help the entire team. And I do organizational speaking. That was a bad time to mess up my word. To help your whole organization understand these principles, the practices, and this framework. So what I'm going to be sharing with you here in this little mini series is actually a 3-hour workshop where we practice. We really get the skills dialed in, because we go through the work to actually do it. This will help create awareness. It's like, oh, now I know. I'll give you some skills that you can go and practice on your own. But a workshop experience is what I can come and do for you. That'll be 3 hours, and we can knock that out in the morning or an afternoon and help your team just continue to elevate as we leverage how to receive feedback well. So what we're going to be focusing on here is how to receive feedback with, I love these words, clarity, curiosity, and confidence. When you think about feedback, often you're probably not thinking about it that way. And one of the reasons is probably because often we'll label feedback as either negative or positive. The way that I want to frame this for you in this series, and I hope that you'll just take moving forward, is that feedback is always positive. Here's why I say that. I'm going to use the word feedback. Like, feedback helps us move forward. That's what its purpose is supposed to be. Not just point out what we did wrong. If we're doing that, it's not really feedback. Feedback is meant to help us move forward, to improve, increase, grow. In some way, there should be some form of improvement. So in that regard, feedback is always positive. What happens is it can become a negative experience for us. And that's what I'm going to hit in the next video is, when it comes to feedback, what is it that causes us to not have, right here, confidence moving into that? There's 3 triggers that we're going to hit. So I want you to come back, watch our next one, and find out what those 3 triggers are and figure out which of those 3 is the one that triggers you most often or the hardest, right? Even if it's not most often, which one hits you the hardest? So as we wrap up today, here's what I want us to go away with. Number 1, that there's not negative and positive feedback, there's positive feedback. Feedback is meant to be positive because the feedback is meant to help us move forward. The other is that we can learn to receive feedback with clarity, curiosity, and confidence. That's what we'll be looking at here. And that the real leverage comes in learning how to receive feedback well, not in giving it. So as you go through this series, what I want you to think of is yourself and put yourself in that seat and in the practice seat, rather than thinking, oh, so-and-so really needs this training. They might, but you do too. So you get it first, you get used to it, dial it in, and then you can be a good model and example for that person. The other is, I don't want you to be thinking about giving feedback. Even sometimes when I'm training, I'll start to slide into that. We got to move back, and you'll probably catch me a couple times doing it, where I'm like, nope, we got to get back into just the seat of receiving the feedback. A natural, organic, just benefit, side effect, I guess, of learning to receive it well is we do become better at communicating feedback on the giving side of things. So don't worry about trying to like reverse engineer that. Just know it's going to be an organic process where that's just going to happen, and then we'll hit some skill sets on that in a future series as well. So for today, feedback is positive. We can receive feedback with clarity, curiosity, and confidence. And this is for you and I to learn how to leverage and receive that feedback so that we can grow. Because when we do, here's what we know about people who receive feedback well. They have better relationships. You want better relationships. They grow more personally and professionally, and they actually have better job security because of that whole experience. So here's what I want to leave you with is, number one, I'm ready to come in and help you stick around in this series, catch everything that you're going to get, but then I want to come help you. My name is Russ Simon, Leadership Solutions. When you've got leadership needs, I've got solutions, and Russ gets results.